A woman's interest is never a mystery, it's in her actions. You don't need to analyze every text, every emoji, or every little detail. If she's truly into you, she'll make it obvious. If she's not, she'll show you in 7 undeniable ways. The problem? Most men ignore these signs. They hold on to false hope, thinking if they just try harder, she'll change her mind. But the truth is, attraction isn't something you force. The Stoics understood this deeply. They never begged for what wasn't theirs. A woman who isn't interested will always test your self-respect. If you ignore reality and keep chasing, you lose. But if you recognize the signs and walk away, you keep your dignity. Watch until the end to learn how to spot disinterest before you waste your time. And if you've ever dealt with this, drop a comment, share your story. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Now, let's dive in. Chapter 1. She repeatedly uses the "I'm busy" as excuse. Excuses are the language of disinterest. When a woman constantly tells you she's too busy, she's not just overwhelmed with work or life, she's telling you, in the gentlest way possible, that she's not interested. And yet, so many men refuse to hear it. Of course, life gets hectic. People have careers, responsibilities, and obligations that take up their time. But here's the truth, people always make time for what matters to them. No one is so busy that they can't spare a few moments for someone they genuinely like. Think about the last time you were excited about something, a new hobby, a trip, or even a show you couldn't wait to watch. Did you find time for it? Of course. Because when we care about something, we prioritize it. The same applies to relationships. A woman who is interested in you will find a way to see you. Even if she's swamped with work, she'll send a quick message. Even if she has a packed schedule, she'll let you know when she's free. She won't just brush you off with vague excuses, she'll show enthusiasm and actively make plans to spend time with you. At first, you might want to believe her. Maybe she really is working late. Maybe she's dealing with personal issues. Maybe she just needs time. And sure, once in a while, those things happen. But if this becomes a pattern, if every attempt to meet up is met with, "Sorry, I can't," or "maybe another time," with no real effort to reschedule, then you need to stop fooling yourself. Women who are truly interested don't just say they're busy, they say, "I can't today, but how about this weekend?" They don't just leave you hanging, they make sure you know they still want to see you. They don't rely on vague responses, they show effort. And if she's not doing that, then she's not just busy, she's uninterested. This is where most men go wrong. They convince themselves that if they just try harder, if they just come up with the perfect plan, she'll suddenly want to make time for them. They think, maybe if I ask differently. Maybe if I suggest something more exciting. Maybe if I just wait a little longer. But here's the reality, a woman who genuinely wants you won't make you beg for her time. She won't treat seeing you like an obligation. She won't string you along with excuses while keeping her weekends open for someone she's actually excited about. So, what's the right move? You stop chasing. You stop trying to prove you're worth her time. You stop putting yourself in the position of someone waiting for scraps of attention. Instead, you recognize the truth, she's just not that interested. And that's perfectly okay. Because the moment you stop reaching out, you get the real answer. If she actually cares, she'll notice your absence. She'll wonder why you're not texting, why you're not making plans, why you suddenly disappeared from her world. And if she reaches out, you know she still values you. But if she doesn't? Then you know, without a doubt, that she was never truly invested in the first place. And here's the key, you don't take it personally. It's not about you being not good enough. It's not about you doing something wrong. It's just the reality of attraction. You can't force it. You can't negotiate someone into liking you. And the sooner you accept that, the sooner you free yourself from wasting energy on someone who doesn't see your worth. The real power comes from walking away without resentment, without anger, without trying to guilt her into changing her mind. Because a man who values himself doesn't need to beg for someone's attention, he naturally attracts it. Think about the kind of man you want to be. Do you want to be the guy desperately trying to squeeze into someone's schedule, hoping she'll finally notice you? Or do you want to be the man who respects his own time so much that he only invests in people who genuinely appreciate him? The choice is clear. A woman who wants to see you will make it happen. A woman who doesn't will keep making excuses. Your job isn't to convince her, it's to recognize the signs and move on. Because the right woman won't make you feel like you're a backup option. She'll make you feel like a priority. And that's the only kind of relationship worth having. Chapter 2. She goes ghost mode. Silence speaks louder than words. When a woman is interested, she finds a way to stay in touch. She makes an effort, even in the smallest ways, sending a quick message, reacting to something you said, or letting you know she's thinking about you. A woman who truly likes you doesn't want to leave you hanging. But when she's not into you, she disappears. At first, it might seem subtle. Maybe she starts taking longer to reply. Maybe her once engaged responses turn into dry, one-word answers. Maybe she used to laugh at your jokes, ask follow-up questions, and show enthusiasm, but now it feels like you're talking to a wall. The texts that used to be filled with emojis and excitement now feel cold, transactional, like she's responding out of obligation rather than desire. The energy shifts. You can sense it, but you tell yourself it's just your imagination. Then, before you even realize what's happening, she vanishes completely. No texts. No calls. No explanations. Just radio silence. Days go by, and your messages sit unread or ignored. She stops liking your posts, stops commenting on your stories, stops engaging in any way. It's like she's erased you from her life without a second thought. And the worst part? You don't even know why. Most guys panic at this point. They convince themselves that she must be busy, going through something, or dealing with personal issues. So, they keep trying. They send follow-up texts. They double text. They ask, "Did you get my message?" thinking that maybe she just missed it. They replay every conversation, trying to find out where they went wrong. They reach out with an innocent "Hey, just checking in," hoping that she'll respond and reassure them that everything is fine. But in reality, they're missing the simplest truth: no response is a response. When a woman wants to talk to you, she makes it happen. She doesn't leave you on read for days. She doesn't let your messages pile up without an explanation. Even if she's genuinely busy, she'll still make an effort. She'll send a quick "I'll text you later" or find a spare moment to check in. It's not about having time, it's about making time. And if she's not making time for you, she doesn't see you as a priority. Some men refuse to accept this. They keep chasing, hoping that one more message will reignite the conversation. They tell themselves that maybe she's just overwhelmed, maybe she lost her phone, maybe she's dealing with something big. And sure, life happens. But even in the busiest moments, people make time for what truly matters to them. A woman who is genuinely into you will never let you sit there, wondering if she still cares. She won't make you guess. That's where a lot of men go wrong. They think if they just say the right thing, make the right move, or prove how much they care, she'll come back. They believe persistence will win her over, that if they keep showing up, she'll realize how great they are. But the truth is, attraction doesn't work like that. Women don't respond to pressure, they respond to desire. And if she doesn't feel it naturally, no amount of texts, calls, or effort will create it. This is why ghosting is such a powerful signal. It's a clear message that she's not interested. But instead of accepting it and moving on, too many men turn ghosting into a challenge. They let their ego take over. They start thinking, how could she just cut me off like that? Doesn't she know what she's missing? And instead of walking away with dignity, they keep trying to break through the wall of silence. But here's the truth, a woman who ghosts you is giving you a gift, clarity. She's showing you exactly where you stand without saying a word. She's saving you from wasting your time on someone who doesn't value you. Instead of seeing it as rejection, see it as redirection. It's the universe's way of removing the wrong person from your life so you can make space for the right one. A Stoic man understands this. He doesn't let silence shake his confidence. He doesn't take ghosting personally. He knows that the right woman won't make him jump through hoops just to get a reply. She'll be excited to talk to him. She won't leave him wondering if she's interested. Her actions will make it clear. And if she's not engaging, if she's choosing to disappear rather than communicate, then that's her loss, not his. Instead of dwelling on why she left, focus on why it doesn't matter. If a woman isn't giving you her time and attention, why would you want her in your life? If she can walk away so easily, what does that say about her investment in you? A high-value man doesn't beg for attention. He doesn't chase after people who don't see his worth. He moves on, knowing that the right woman will never make him feel like an option. The best response to ghosting isn't anger. It's not a long message demanding closure. It's not a passive-aggressive post designed to make her feel guilty. The best response is silence. The same silence she gave you. Not as a game, not as revenge, but as a statement, I respect myself too much to chase someone who doesn't want me. Attraction isn't about chasing, it's about drawing the right people in. And the only way to do that is to carry yourself with the confidence of a man who knows his worth. So, if she's ignoring you, let her go. Don't waste your time on ghosts. Focus on building a life so fulfilling and meaningful that the right woman won't be able to look away. Because when you truly value yourself, you'll never beg for someone else to do the same. Chapter 3. She cuts the date short. A woman who's interested in you will try to extend the date. She'll linger in conversation, find reasons to stay, or suggest another drink. Even if she has responsibilities the next day, she'll find ways to make time for you. When a woman is truly enjoying herself, she won't want the moment to end. She'll be engaged, leaning in, maintaining eye contact, and making it clear that she values your company. But when she's not into you, she's looking for the exit. You'll notice the signs almost immediately. She suddenly has somewhere to be. She starts glancing at the clock. She checks her phone constantly, as if waiting for an excuse to leave. She gives you polite but distant responses, nodding at your words without really engaging. Then, at some point, she drops a classic escape line, "I have an early morning tomorrow." While that might be true, what's even truer is that she's not invested enough to stay. A woman who's captivated by you will stretch the night as far as she can. She won't rush off just because she has an early start, she'll make it work. Some men ignore these cues, convincing themselves that she's just busy or distracted. They believe that if they were more entertaining, said the right thing, or played their cards differently, she would have stayed. But that's not how attraction works. A woman either feels drawn to you, or she doesn't. If she's cutting the date short, she's made up her mind, even if she's trying to soften the blow by being polite. Now, could there be legitimate reasons for leaving early? Of course. Life happens. Emergencies come up. People get tired. But here's the key difference: a woman who genuinely likes you will make up for it. She'll text you later, apologize for leaving so soon, and suggest another time to meet. She'll show enthusiasm, proving that her early exit wasn't about a lack of interest, but about circumstances beyond her control. A woman who's into you won't let the connection die, she'll actively work to revive it. But if she just vanishes after a short date? No follow-up, no message, no attempt to see you again? That tells you everything you need to know. She wasn't feeling it. And when a woman isn't feeling it, nothing you do will change that. This is where a lot of men go wrong. They think that if they just reach out one more time, say something clever, or wait a few days, she might reconsider. But attraction isn't built on persistence, it's built on desire. And if she's already shown you that she's not interested, your best move is to believe her. The truth is, when a woman cuts the date short, she's doing you a favor. She's saving you time, energy, and effort that would be wasted on someone who doesn't appreciate your value. The worst thing you can do in this situation is try to convince her to stay or chase after her when she's already decided to leave. A man who respects himself doesn't beg for attention, he attracts it by being valuable. A Stoic man understands this deeply. He knows that his worth isn't determined by any single interaction. He doesn't measure his value based on whether one woman stays or goes. Instead, he moves forward with confidence, knowing that the right woman, the one who genuinely enjoys his presence, will make the effort to be with him. He doesn't force connections. He doesn't plead for time. He doesn't wait around hoping for a second chance. He simply observes, accepts, and moves on. And that's the kind of energy that commands respect. Women are naturally drawn to men who exude self-assurance, who don't seek validation, and who understand that rejection is just redirection. When you carry yourself like a man who has options, because you do, you never have to convince anyone to stay. The right people will choose to stay on their own. Chapter 4. She declines a second date. If a woman is interested, she won't hesitate to see you again. She won't need time to think about it or come up with an excuse to delay the inevitable. Attraction doesn't work that way. When a woman genuinely enjoys your company and feels a spark, she'll be excited to meet you again. She'll suggest times, follow up, or at the very least, respond enthusiastically when you ask her out again. If she's uncertain or non-committal, that hesitation is an answer in itself. Some men don't recognize this for what it is. They hold on to hope, thinking that if they wait long enough, or send just the right text, or prove themselves in some way, she'll come around. But attraction isn't built on patience, it's built on chemistry. If she felt it, she would act on it. If she didn't, there's nothing you can do to force it. This is where a lot of guys trip themselves up. Instead of taking the rejection at face value, they try to find a hidden meaning. Maybe she's just busy. Maybe she needs time. Maybe if I reach out again in a few days, she'll change her mind. But that's not how attraction works. When a woman truly wants to see you, she won't risk missing the chance. There's a huge difference between a woman being genuinely busy and a woman subtly turning you down. A woman who's interested but busy will tell you when she's free. She'll suggest another day or tell you she wants to reschedule. A woman who isn't interested will leave things vague. She'll say something non-committal like, "I'll let you know," or "maybe another time." And while she might say it with a smile or even seem a little apologetic, the meaning is clear. She doesn't want to see you again, but she also doesn't want to hurt your feelings. This is why it's crucial to read between the lines, not with hope, but with clarity. If a woman is pushing off a second date without giving you a clear alternative, she's not interested. If she tells you she had a great time but doesn't follow up with enthusiasm, she's not interested. And if she dodges your attempts to make plans without offering a real excuse, she's not interested. It might sting in the moment, but understanding this will save you a lot of wasted time and emotional energy. The men who struggle with rejection the most are the ones who resist it. They keep a door open that should have been shut, hoping for a shift in her feelings. But attraction doesn't grow in absence. If she wasn't drawn to you after the first date, she won't magically become drawn to you later. That's not how desire works. Women, like men, act on their feelings when they're strong enough. If she's lukewarm, it means she's already made up her mind. So, what's the right response? Accept the no and move on. No overanalyzing, no waiting, no bitterness, just clarity and respect for yourself. When you respond to rejection with confidence and grace, you communicate something powerful. You're a man who values his time. You're not someone who lingers where he isn't wanted. You don't chase after women who don't recognize your worth. This attitude isn't just healthier, it's attractive. Women are drawn to men who know their value and act accordingly. A man who lingers on rejection sends the message that he's desperate for approval. A man who moves forward with confidence sends the message that he's secure, self-respecting, and desirable. And that kind of man never has to convince anyone to see him again. Chapter 5. She continuously flakes or cancels. Everyone has a busy schedule. Emergencies happen. Sometimes, plans genuinely need to be rescheduled. But there's a huge difference between a woman who cancels once for a legitimate reason and a woman who repeatedly backs out of plans without making a real effort to see you. If she's always too busy or something came up, you're not dealing with bad timing, you're dealing with a lack of interest. A woman who genuinely likes you will prioritize seeing you. No matter how packed her schedule is, she will make time. Maybe she can't see you on a certain day, but she'll offer an alternative. Maybe she's overwhelmed with work, but she'll text you to say, "Hey, this week is crazy, but let's meet up next Saturday." Interest is never just words, it's actions. Now, let's flip the script. If she cancels and never reschedules? If she dodges making concrete plans? If she keeps feeding you excuses like, "I'll let you know," but never follows up? That's your answer. She's not busy, she's avoiding you. And yet, so many guys refuse to accept this reality. They tell themselves, maybe she just needs more time. Maybe she's shy. Maybe if I keep trying, she'll come around. They rationalize her lack of effort instead of facing the truth. She doesn't see you as a priority. A woman who cancels once but then takes initiative to set up another time is still interested. A woman who repeatedly flakes without making an effort is showing you she doesn't respect your time. And respect is the foundation of attraction. Here's what most men do wrong. They keep waiting. They keep chasing. They keep texting even after she's cancelled 3, 4, 5 times. And what does that signal to her? It tells her, this guy values me more than he values himself. It shows her that you're willing to accept scraps instead of demanding real effort. A high-value man doesn't wait around for a woman who doesn't value him. He doesn't send another text saying, "Hey, when are you free?" when she's already bailed twice. He doesn't keep checking his phone, hoping she'll change her mind. He sees what's happening and moves on because he knows his time is too precious to waste on someone who clearly doesn't care. And here's the kicker, the moment you stop chasing, the moment you walk away with confidence, that's when she might realize what she lost. But by then, you won't even care, because a man who values himself doesn't settle for lukewarm interest. He invests in women who invest in him. So next time a woman flakes on you, don't beg. Don't ask for an explanation. Don't try to convince her to see you. Just walk away and never look back. Chapter 6. She's always distant and disengaged. A woman's interest isn't just in her words, it's in her presence. When a woman likes you, you'll feel it. She's fully engaged in the conversation, she leans in when you speak, she laughs at your jokes even when they're not that funny. Her eyes stay locked on you, absorbing every word. She finds reasons to stay in the moment with you because she genuinely enjoys your company. She mirrors your energy, reacts with excitement, and makes it clear that your presence matters to her. But when she's not interested, the shift is undeniable. She's physically there, but mentally, she's already gone. Her attention drifts, her responses are short and forced, and her body language screams discomfort. She's looking around the room, checking her phone, or subtly shifting her body away from you. It's as if she's counting the seconds until she can leave. Conversations with her feel dry, robotic, like she's just going through the motions. The warmth, the spark, the playfulness, all missing. A woman who wants to be around you will show it effortlessly. She won't need to be pulled into a conversation, she'll naturally contribute. She'll ask questions, she'll react to what you say, and most importantly, she'll be present. She'll find small ways to stay engaged, whether it's through light teasing, playful remarks, or even just maintaining eye contact. But when she's not, every interaction feels like you're carrying the weight of the conversation alone. She responds, but she doesn't add anything meaningful. Her words lack enthusiasm, her voice sounds detached, and there's no real engagement. Many men try to fight against this. They assume they need to try harder, to be more entertaining, more interesting, or more charming. They tell themselves, maybe she's just tired. Maybe she's had a long day. Maybe I need to be funnier. And so, they push harder. They tell more stories, they crack more jokes, they search for any sign of enthusiasm, only to be met with the same lukewarm energy. But this is the wrong mindset. The truth is, attraction isn't something you force, it's either there or it isn't. Her disengagement is her way of telling you that she doesn't feel a strong connection. And if you ignore this sign, you set yourself up for frustration. You start doubting yourself. You start thinking, maybe I'm not interesting enough. Maybe I need to prove my worth. But the truth is, it's not about you, it's about the lack of chemistry between you. A woman who truly wants you will make an effort. She won't leave you wondering where you stand. A Stoic man never begs for attention. He recognizes when his presence isn't valued, and instead of chasing validation, he calmly removes himself from the situation. He doesn't sit there trying to decode mixed signals or justify her behavior. He doesn't waste time crafting the perfect text or planning an elaborate date just to win her over. He understands that a woman who is truly interested will never make him feel like he has to earn her attention. The solution is simple: if she's not engaged, don't fight for her attention. If she's giving you half-hearted energy, don't waste yours trying to make up for it. Instead, take that energy and invest it elsewhere, on yourself, on people who appreciate you, on experiences that make you better. A high-value man doesn't try to convince a woman to like him. He sees disinterest for what it is and walks away with his dignity intact. Think about this: why would you ever want to be around someone who acts like they'd rather be anywhere else? Why would you chase after a woman who treats your presence as a burden instead of a blessing? A confident, self-respecting man doesn't need to beg for someone's time. He naturally gravitates toward those who reciprocate his energy, those who genuinely want to be around him. If a woman is always distant, always disengaged, always acting like she'd rather be anywhere else, believe her. Don't make excuses for her behavior. Don't tell yourself she just needs more time to warm up. A woman who truly wants you will never make you feel like an afterthought. She will show you, with her presence, her attention, and her energy, that you matter to her. If she isn't doing that, it's your cue to walk away, without hesitation, without regret, and without looking back. Chapter 7. She never initiates contact. This is the ultimate test of whether a woman truly values you, or if you're just an afterthought in her world. When a woman is interested, she makes an effort. She might not be the one planning every date, but she'll find ways to show she cares. She'll send a text, ask how your day was, or find small reasons to stay connected. She won't just sit back, waiting for you to be the only one maintaining the connection. She'll contribute, even in subtle ways. But when she never initiates, when you're always the one reaching out, always the one making plans, always the one keeping the connection alive, that's a clear sign she wouldn't care if you disappeared. She's not just bad at texting. She's not just unsure of how she feels. She's simply not invested in you. Many men fall into the trap of thinking, it's my job to lead. And while it's true that masculine energy is naturally more dominant, attraction is never one-sided. A relationship, whether in its early stages or years down the line, thrives on mutual interest. When a woman is genuinely drawn to you, she won't just passively wait for you to do all the work. She'll show interest. She'll invest in the interaction. Even something as small as a good morning text or a question about your day is proof that she wants to stay in your life. On the other hand, when she never texts first, when she never checks in to see how you're doing, when she only responds and never initiates, that's not just passivity, it's disinterest. She's telling you, loud and clear, that you're not a priority. She doesn't think about you when you're not around. You're not someone she's eager to talk to. Yet many men ignore this. They convince themselves it's just her personality. They think, maybe she's just shy. Maybe she's playing hard to get. Maybe she's really busy. And while these things can be true in rare cases, the harsh reality is simple: a woman who genuinely wants to talk to you will. No excuses. No games. Think about this. When a woman is truly interested in someone, does she sit back and wait endlessly for that person to reach out? No. She finds a way to engage, whether it's through a simple check-in, a flirty text, or even an excuse to start a conversation. Women aren't passive when they're genuinely drawn to a man. They want to be part of his world. They want to be on his mind. Now, here's where most guys go wrong. They start making up reasons to justify her lack of effort. She's just not a big texter. Maybe she's scared of coming on too strong. Maybe she's waiting for me to prove I like her first. But the truth is, if she truly cared, none of that would matter. She would find a way to reach out. A Stoic man never chases where he isn't valued. He doesn't waste time begging for scraps of attention. He doesn't overanalyze silence. He doesn't try to decode lukewarm behavior into something meaningful. He recognizes his worth, and if a woman can't see it, he moves on, without hesitation, without second-guessing, without regret. Because here's the reality: you don't need to convince the right woman to care about you. She just will. She'll want to talk to you. She'll think about you. She'll find little reasons to reach out. She won't let you carry the entire weight of the interaction while she sits back, putting in zero effort. That's not how attraction works. So if she never initiates contact, take it as the only answer you need. She's not into you. And that's okay. It doesn't mean you're not valuable. It doesn't mean you're not worthy. It just means she's not the one for you. And that's a good thing to recognize early, because your time and energy should only be spent on those who appreciate them. The truth is simple: when a woman is interested, she makes it obvious. She won't play mind games. She won't disappear. She won't make you guess. But when she's not, she'll test your self-respect. If you ignore the signs and keep chasing, you only hurt yourself. A Stoic man never begs for attention. He values himself too much for that. So take this knowledge and apply it. If you see these signs, don't waste another second. Respect yourself enough to walk away. Because the right woman? She won't make you chase, she'll meet you halfway. If you've ever dealt with this, share your story in the comments. Let other men learn from your experience. And if you found this video helpful, like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, because we're just getting started. Stay strong. Stay stoic. And never settle for less than you deserve.